Hi everybody, it is time for me to set up my bullet journal for the month of September. I set it up last month with all the intention of the world of doing a spread for my Bend trip, but I haven't done that yet because the trip changed focus quite a bit. The road trip I have previous videos that'll let you know, basically because of some family emergencies, the trip was not quite as exciting as we had hoped it would be, understandably so I haven't filled that in, but I have been utilizing it for lists and stuff. We're gonna just give this another try this month and see what happens. I'm starting to approach the end of the year and I'm really starting to rethink how I want to do my bullet journal this next year, because this year has been sort of a frustrating pile of experimentation and I just don't know how I feel. But in the meantime, let's get started. Let's talk about supplies. I have my journal, which is the Passion Journal from Passion Planner. I've got my pile of pens. I'll talk about the colors shortly. As for fine liners, I've just got my Faber-Castell Hit Artist pens in various sizes. I'm giving my slice tool another try to see how it does with the paper. And then, of course, my cutting mat. I've got whiteout and things like that on the back end, just waiting for me. Now for my band and my theme for this month, as I have been doing all year, I'm picking a flower and then a music band or group. I am kind of bummed that I picked Muse for my birthday month because their new album is releasing, I believe the day I'm filming this, the 26th. So I'm excited about that, but whatever. I've already done Muse, and so we're moving to another one of my favorite groups. This particular group was awesome. The last year that we were in Napa, that the marching band actually got to do marching band stuff. So it was the fall season before COVID, so it was 2019. The Napa marching band that my kid was a part of, they did an entire halftime show of Earth, Wind, and Fire, and it was awesome. So this is going to be my Earth, Wind, and Fire spread for September. And then to go with that, my patrons picked a flower that I had on so my patrons every month get to vote on the color scheme and flower that I'm doing in my bullet journal. This one was from last year, did not get picked, and so they picked it for September. That's a sunflower. I am loving how this is looking even with the 1 month I didn't do. Let's start with my cover page. I'm going to kind of do similar to what I did this last month by putting this, going back to the cutout. I really liked that. I really should pencil this in first. I really should. I think I'm going to. It's 2 months in a row I've penciled shit in. What is that even like? So I decided to pencil in some circles for the centers of the sunflowers. It's kind of like a domed shape bouquet with the stems going into the vase. Now, some of these circles are going to get overlapped by petals in the front. You see what I'm saying? But I drew the full circle just to give me an idea. I can always go back and erase. So that's just one of the bonuses to drawing with a pencil, as much as I'm just like, fuck my life. I realize that I probably should do that once in a while. And I think what I'm going to do is, instead of pen and inking it, I think I'm going to color them in first and then do outlines. Now, this has been something I've done in the past and I haven't always liked it, but we're going to give it a shot. I guess the one issue with Tombowing in first and then erasing is that you can't really erase the pencil marks underneath the pen. So I'm sort of going to just start working my way backwards. And a key here when you're doing sunflowers and you're creating this kind of almost symmetrical petal shape, and I'm okay if it's a little sloppy, I'm a sloppy bitch. You want to turn your paper. You don't want to just try to do it, because chances, just do it with the paper facing one direction, because chances are it's gonna look like Garbo. So yeah, see, I could erase a little bit under the marker, but it didn't really work super well, so it's fine. Again, I don't care all too much if there is, a bit of I'm just adding in some background petals here of a darker color. And then what I'm going to do is go back in with the end of this and just add some quick little lines down the center of the petals just to add a little bit of depth before I decide to go in, if I decide to go in at all, with fine liner. I might not. All right, so I've done this one. I'm going to do this other front one, then I'm going to start working my way behind it. Again, this is sloppy as fuck, and that's okay. The sloppier it is, the less you have to be concerned with hella detail. Now, one thing I am going to do, though, is make sure that these petals here in the back are a little shorter, just to try and like give you the idea that this flower is kind of facing sort of more upwards than these other ones. My hand stamped down some yellow. Thankfully, I'm cutting around that. Okay, so I got the flowers basically blocked in, and I think I'm going to not go for the line work. I think it's going to be too chaotic looking. And so instead, I'm going to draw in the stems. I'm just going to draw some flat lines down with green, and I'm going to leave the pencil marks just for the fun. I'll let them be the texture. The only thing I am going to do for pen work is drawing in the vase and then drawing in the lines of the vase. I kind of need, no, I don't like how that looks. I kind of need a gray marker or black. I just grabbed this like light gray and I'm going to use that to go over the vase to just add that kind of vasey look. And okay, so I'm not a huge fan of the drawn in, but whatever. That gave it a bit more of a markery look. Okay, now I'm going to take my cutting mat and my slice and give this a bit of a cut. I'm going to use my ruler. I found it's a little easier with the slice tool to keep it like on the up and up for these upper parts if I have a guide. That was not quite as bad as it was the last time. Where the hell did my lid go? There it is. I still have a little bit of trouble kind of doing corners with the slice tool. It's not extremely like flexible is not the word I'm looking for. Like guidable, maybe? I don't know. It's just not quite. God, what is the word I want for that? I don't even know. It's either kidney brain or just general all over the place brain. I cannot find the fucking vocabulary. Okay. So I rounded these corners. And then what I'm going to do is I really liked having the little calendar here. And look, I have my dots here. It literally just kind of comes up against it. So I'm going to put that in with the extra small. Almost lost lettering chick in there. I don't know if that's going to be my final font for the month, but I'm kind of just going to go with it for right now. Now for my color scheme for this month, it's almost all Tombows. One green Pitt artist pen, but it's some yellows and like the orange, kind of a yellowish orange to, create basic sunflowers. And a brown. Let's not forget the brown as a brown-haired gal. All right, so I do like how that looks, though. I'm going to let that dry before I go for the pencil lines. Okay, so for the quote, I'm going to put under here. I am starting off my Earth, Wind, and Fire quotes. Unlike some of the other months where I tend to do just one song and just quote throughout. Last month, I did multiple songs. This month, I'm doing multiple songs. So I'm going to be going, because it's September, we obviously have to kick this off with a quote from their song, September. Do you remember the 21st night of September? I actually do. That's the night. Was it the 21st or 22nd? I think it was 21st when my dad. It was 3 a.m. It's hard to remember when my dad died. Isn't that? That just took a turn, didn't it? This is the point where we start to fix our problems. So I was going to write remember and then do a cursive on top of it. And then I spelled it wrong. So we're going to just do a brick. Let that dry for a second to deal with my own personal fuck-ups. And by doing that, I just realized I wrote August here. I can now just hear so many of you being like, Cindy, it's the wrong month. So we're going to just cover that up. We're going to just cover that up with a piece here of... And I found the easiest way to cover it up with like a scrap. That's why you never throw away the scraps from cutting out like this right here until you are done with your setup, because you never know when you're going to need those scraps. I found the easiest way is to just use the dots as a guide to like line shit up. See? All fixed. Maybe I won't lose lettering chicken this time. There we go. A little janky with the little covered up, but whatever. Shit happens. I do like how this turned out though. Do you remember the 21st night of September? I feel like I could put something here, like a list of goals or something. I just don't know what yet. So I will save that. Maybe I'll use it, maybe I won't. But it has a perfect right spot for it. Maybe what I'll do is add in some check boxes for 3 things I'll pick off of my Moxie life, and I'll just transfer them in here once I've done that. I know one of them is going to be give up soda. I have not done my Moxie life. I've not done my goals yet, but no soda September. And then I know one of them is going to be how my hot wallet summer is going to evolve for the rest of the year, but I haven't quite finished figuring that out yet. So those 2 things will get, and then something else. But yeah, that's what I'll do. All right, so then this next set of pages, and then one of these is going to be my hashtag holiday no buy. Now, I don't have these rules completely figured out yet because I'm still working on that with Jessie. This is something that we have to kind of do together, but I am going to be putting a spread in here, so stay tuned for that. So I don't know what my 3rd thing in September is yet. When I figure that out when I fill in my planner, but those are the 2 things I've already been kind of percolating on, like a cup of coffee or a pot of coffee. So this is going to be my calendar, and I actually have, Peloton every day. That's the other thing. I remember. I did think about this ahead of time. I just didn't write everything down. Oh my God, and I'm smearing my inks. Hella smearing. Don't do it, Cindy. So now that I remember everything I was doing, this is going to be my calendar spread, and I'm going to put a quote here and a calendar here. I'm going to do the calendar old school bullet journal style because I want to get back to using the Peloton app every single day. It may not be the bike every single day, but at least a meditation or stretching every day. And I want to write down what I do here on each day. And then for my quote on this side, we're going to Let's Groove, because that makes sense for the kind of jam I like when I'm doing a Peloton, especially a bike workout. So I'm going to go with Let's Groove tonight. Share the spice of life. All night. So I think I'm going to start by putting in a big sunflower here, and then draw a box in, and then put the quote in. So I'm just going to sort of wing it. Damn it! Let's groove spice. Fucking damn it. Let's groove tonight. Share the spice of life. Let's just do the whiteout this time and see how that works. I'm not holding out hope that this is going to work out okay, but I just really obviously don't know what the fuck I'm doing here. So let's go back in with the color. Oh yeah, this is going to look super slick. You're not going to be able to tell at all that I fucked up. Shit. Okay, whatever. We're going to let that dry for a hot minute, and I'm going to start writing in this calendar. That's going to be for September. September, Cindy. September. You know what does help though? I think the medium Pitt Artist Pen tip is big enough to be able to sort of take the bumps of the whiteout with stride. When I use a smaller tip, like, you know, especially like a smaller micron, I find it gets kind of snagged on the whiteout, but the big fat medium tip kind of glided right over it. So that was a bonus, I guess. And I'm going to take this yellow and I'm going to just block in the weekends, even though I take Fridays and Saturdays off most days and such. But it is nice to have the weekends marked in there purely for like a overview kind of look to sort of remind yourself of what goes where. All right, we survived this spread. Let's move forward. My goodness. Okay, so this last one, like I said, is going to be my holiday no-buy, and I'm going to just block off a big box for space for the rules, and then I'm going to write the rules in once I get them figured out. And then I'm going to put another quote on this side, and that quote is going to be from the song Fantasy by Earth, Wind & Fire with the "And we will live together until the 12th of never." Anyway, you're welcome for that serenade this morning. I was almost there. Even I was like, oh, I almost fucked this up, but I fixed it. Except to stop and think, oops. It's not the 5th. It's the 12th. God damn it. That like gliding with the medium has not been working out for me the second time. And I should have let that dry because now it's starting to blow out a little bit. But that's okay. I'm ready to like walk away from this. So it's just room for my rules for the holiday no-buy. That video will be coming out in another week or so once I get the rules fit out. Because I was mentioning it to Jesse and he was like, well, we need to make sure we figure this out together. And I'm like, you're right. So let's take a look. We've got the cover page with the couple of fuck-ups. We've got the calendar for Peloton every day with the fuck-ups. And then we have the holiday no-buy rules page with the fuck-ups. I hope that this makes you feel better about yourself. I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. What is one habit or thing you're going to be working on in September? Big or small? I'd love to know. Obviously, you can tell what some of mine are. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. And until next time, friends, peace.